Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So today I have a bit of a different product to show you today. This is the Ruko U11 camera drone. It advertises itself as a 4K 40-minute flight foldable camera drone. And it's a pretty neat looking little drone. It doesn't take up a ton of space, and yes, it is in a foldable package, so it does pack down pretty compactly. It is trying to swing 6-inch props. But a little background about how this became. I was contacted by a rep from Ruko who said, hey, you want to take a look at this drone? So Ruko asked me to do the video on this, and I'm more than happy to do it. I'm giving you my honest thoughts and opinions. These are my thoughts and opinions, and mine only. No one has any control over what I say here, but this drone was sent to me for review by Ruko for the purpose of this video, or something in it that makes it stand out as not a bad buy. So shockingly, this thing showed up in like 3 or 4 days, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to come like a month later. I got it and got it in the box, and pretty surprised with what is in the packaging here. So the drone comes in a case. It's a pretty decent, kind of soft-sided case. It's nothing crazy, but it is nice that it comes in a kit form. And then when you open it up, right on the top here, we do have the drone itself. I'll pull that out. The controller. In this little box here, we have a clip for putting your cell phone on the controller, and then we have 3 separate USB-C cables. Don't need that. And in the top here, nice zippered pouch. We have a second flight battery. One comes pre-installed in the little drone. A bag of screws with one of the, the world's worst screwdrivers, one of these little guys, and an extra set of props. So quite a bit of stuff. And what do we have here? This. And this was interesting when I first pulled these out. So we have a geared prop shaft. 2 of them, actually. There's another one in the bag. So you might be asking yourself, why did this thing come with geared prop shafts? Well, before I accepted this product, I didn't research anything about it. I wanted to be surprised and see what I would get. And to my surprise, this is running brushed motors. You heard me right, brushed motors, not brushless like everything else has, but this is some very low-tech, also low-cost option for a propulsion system. So these 2 have brushed motors. Didn't come with any brushed motors. Brushed motors don't have a very long life. The higher output performance they have, usually the lower run time that they have. I don't believe these are of any sort of high-performance variant, so your mileage may vary. I'm not sure how long this will last, but what will happen is it will slowly degrade in performance and runtime. It'll require more effort to get itself to do the same thing as it was doing when it was new. It's very insidious, and it kind of sneaks up on you. So if for some reason you have this thing and all of a sudden now it's not taking off, probably your motors are worn out. You have to swap them out. So this does come with 2 batteries. These are 2-cell 1200 milliamp lithium polymer batteries. They are all self-contained, which is kind of nice. They do have a voltage checker, or a power level checker on them. See, this one's down a little bit versus this one. And the other really nice thing about it is all the charging is done internal. All you have to do is plug in a USB-C cable to any sort of wall wart, and these will charge. There's no specialty charger for these things. It's kind of nice. Just plug it in, let them charge. The controller is very lightweight, very toy grade feeling. The antennas here don't kind of unfold in any sort of meaningful way, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. The phone mount just kind of clips into the back there, and this thing is actually big enough to hold my phone. Like some of the other camera drones I've used, like this is a pretty big phone. This is a Samsung Note 20 Ultra, and it, with a case on it, and one of the bigger cases is one of the D brand cases, it actually fits in there, and it holds it pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of slop in the joint mechanism, but once it hits its stops, it does actually hold my phone. Very surprised about that. The controller does have a few different modes built into it. So we have a GPS switch here. We have a follow mode, a POI mode. They call it in circle, but it's POI. It does an orbit around your target, and a high and low rate switch, power, and then a return to home button. In the top here, we have a potentiometer for running the gimbal up and down, take a picture button, and start and stop video recording button. Pretty basic controls. It's kind of what you would expect out of any sort of camera drone. Nothing really special about it. So one of the things I found is you don't actually have to have your phone to fly this drone. The phone does not connect to the controller at all. Your phone will connect to the drone via Wi-Fi. Now, the fact that it connects via Wi-Fi, it does have its disadvantages. The Wi-Fi range is much, much shorter than the RC control link, this is running on 2.4 gigahertz. The Wi-Fi will run on 2.4 or 5.8, most likely 2.4, but you will run out of video on your smartphone way before you run out of control on this. But fortunately, it does have return to home. Press the button and it will come back. Quad does have optical flow, and it does have GPS. One of the things I was very disappointed to find out is the camera is not gimbaled at all. It's just kind of vibration stabilized. So you get a lot of movement in the picture while you're flying around because it is not stabilized in any way, shape, or form. They do advertise this is a 4K drone, but when you actually look at the contents of either the pictures or the video, you're gonna find yourself with a 1248 by 1152 image. And as far as the video goes, it's about 51 kilobits per second, and it's at 25 frames per second. This is a very, pretty much unusable image. The video quality is very, very substandard. And the pictures are just as bad. To connect to the drone, it's not that hard. You got to find the Wi-Fi network, connect to it, and then you're off to the races. But if you lose signal, or at least in my situation, I found if I lost signal with the app, when I reacquired the app, the battery percentage went from wherever it used to be back to 100%. And you have no warning that you're going to run out of battery until the thing just completely drops out of the air. And unfortunately, when it shuts itself off, it doesn't close the container on the video file and you lose the video file. It does take a SD card, which is inserted from the bottom of the drone. It's kind of nice. It's very easy to get to. You just kind of clicker on in there. It does only accept up to a 32 gigabyte SD card. They have to be FAT32. FAT32 meaning you can't go over 32 gigabytes. There are ways to spoof larger cards into being 32 gigabytes, but all the available space you'll have is 32 gigabytes. It'll take you forever to fill it up. So this drone is coming in at a whopping $289. $290 by the time you figure everything out. That is an awful lot for something that is pretty much substandard in every way, shape, or form as far as a camera drone could be. You can get a DJI Mini for not much more than this, and I would take the DJI Mini hands down every day. So I'm trying to find the silver lining in this thing. Like, why would somebody want to spend this kind of money on something like this? Like, what? Why would somebody want to spend the money on something like this? The few things that I could find is there are replacement parts for it. They are very, very affordable. You can buy an arm with a motor, ready to rock for $20. Batteries are about $50 a piece. Props are $20 for a set of their 6-inch folding blades. Not bad. Heck, you can even buy an entire controller for $30. So replacement parts are very inexpensive if you plan on crashing this thing and breaking it. I've crashed it a few times. It's pretty darn durable. I'm surprised how durable this thing is. I've crashed my Mavic Air once and completely destroyed the gimbal on it. I had to send it out to be repaired, which was a long process, cost me a bunch of money. This thing, since it's so low tech, there's not a whole lot to mess up. I think at the worst you'll do is either bend a prop, break an arm, or strip out a motor drive, which you have more. So at least you have that. The other big thing that I noticed that I kind of liked about this is the app is entirely not necessary. And when you do use the app, it's not asking you to set up an account, use a username, log into a website, log into this, ask for permission for your cell phone files. Well, no, it does ask for that. It doesn't ask for permission to your contacts or your cell data. It doesn't have any logs. It doesn't do any of that stuff that we expect from our big brothers, from our big brother drones, if you know what I'm talking about. The only permissions it asks for on your phone is location and file storage, because if you don't have an SD card in the drone, it'll write the images and the videos to the SD card on your phone, and it needs GPS location to do the advanced features like return to home, POI, orbit, tracking, things like that. And what it does is it doesn't follow the controller, it follows your cell phone, because it's tracking the GPS difference between what the quad has for a lock and what your phone has for a lock, and it tries to keep in pace with that. So that is kind of nice. So, like, with that said, what would you do with this then? And the other thing is it does come with 2 batteries. They claim the website claims it gets 40 minutes of flight. That's 40 minutes between the 2 batteries. And in my testing, it was about 15 minutes a piece. So plan on about 30 with losses and all that. They asked me to create an affiliate account so you can go out and buy one of these, and they're going to offer 10% off. Please don't. Just don't. Go purchase. Go pitch it and purchase a Mavic Mini if you really want a camera drone. You'll be happier with it in every way, shape, or form. If you don't like Big Brother tracking you, then you're probably not watching this video because you don't have YouTube, a smartphone, Facebook, or any of that stuff. So let's keep this all in perspective, guys. But I think compared to other cheap knockoff drones, this thing's actually built pretty well. I am very pleased with the build quality of it. It's just the software behind it is just not there. The performance is not there. This thing is pretty hollow. They did ask me to do a teardown video, which I will do as well. We'll see what makes this thing tick. And then we're going to try to figure out what to do with this thing. If you guys have any idea what to do with this, let me know. Leave it down in the video comments down below. I'd like to see what you would want to do with this thing. But anyways, sorry to Ruko. I would like to have left a more favorable review, but you can only polish a turd so hard. There are things that are good about this, but in the totality, I don't think this is a good buy. I honestly think this is just basically e-waste at this point. Sorry, guys. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay positive.